Thank you very much. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the e-government branch of the Division for Public Administration and Development Management of UNDESA, I would like to thank all of you for taking time from your very busy schedules to be here with us today in this global event. I would like to share with you that based on our list of participants, in this room alone, we have about 45 countries that are being represented. Therefore, we believe that this is a great opportunity to share our knowledge and to have a very rich exchange of experiences on e-government and what e-government can do for sustainable development. I would also like to express my sincere gratitude to the host, the Government of the Republic of Korea, and to our project office, UMPO, particularly to its head, Mr. Lim, and his excellent team. Finally, allow me to thank and to welcome and congratulate the 2014 United Nations Public Service Award winners that are here present today with us and will be illustrating their good practices in the area of whole of government and innovative service delivery. Before starting our sessions, I would like to provide you with some general information about the overall theme of this workshop, the objectives, the structure, process, role of resource persons, and also expected outcomes. Before providing more information about the overall theme, I would like to set the context of this workshop within the global dialogue that is going on within the United Nations and with stakeholders from around the world. As you know, we are currently approaching the deadline for the 2015 implementation of the Millennium Development Goals, which were set by world leaders more than 10 years ago. And they have made a huge impact on the lives of billions of people. In particular, extreme poverty has decreased in every region, and substantial progress has been made in access to safe drinking water, decent housing, and life-saving HIV treatment. While between 2000 and 2011, the world has achieved parity in primary education between girls and boys, with more than 40 million children attending schools. However, according to the latest Millennium Development Report, progress has been uneven. More than 1 billion people still live in extreme poverty, and there are persisting challenges in eradicating hunger, improving health, promoting gender equality, enhancing access to clean water and sanitation, among others. As the 2015 deadline for achieving the Millennium Development Goals approaches, DESA is working with a range of partners to build on the MDGs and help create a vision for the future that puts people and the planet first. So a new transformative sustainable development agenda for post-2015 is taking shape, and a set of sustainable development goals are being elaborated. Following up on the UN Conference on Sustainable Development, Rio+20, the UN General Assembly, in its resolution entitled The Future We Want, has reaffirmed the strong need to achieve sustainable development. And it has stressed that all levels of government and legislative bodies play an important role in promoting sustainable development. Overall, and I quote from the resolution, the goal of sustainable development is to ensure the promotion of an economically, socially, and environmental sustainable future for the planet and for present and future generations. It emphasizes intragenerational and intergenerational equity. Success of this new transformative agenda for sustainable development will critically depend on governance at all levels. And you can see in this slide that the three main pillars of this post-2015 development agenda are economic development, social development, and environmental sustainability. And the role that public administration and good governance will play in promoting these three pillars in an integrated and balanced way will be critical. So we will need more than ever innovative, effective, inclusive, transparent, open, collaborative public administration and good governance if we wish to promote this very ambitious but very needed development agenda. We know that there are multiple challenges, as I mentioned before, And it is clear that governments cannot work as they used to in silos. That's why whole-of-government approaches, collaborative governance, are becoming essential elements of good governance if governments wish to overcome and work together with other stakeholders in society, overcome complex, multifaceted, and interdependent challenges, including poverty, inequality, global warming, peace, and security, which really at the end require a holistic government vision and a transformative agenda through enhanced policy coordination, decision-making processes, and public service integration. So I just wanted to set a little bit the context of why we have chosen this theme, innovation and e-governance for sustainable development. As I mentioned, it is extremely important that we start thinking more in terms of collaborative governance. Citizens should be seen as solutions to problems, not problems. There is a great deal of innovation, creativity within all three sectors, and this is going to be the future if we wish to promote economic, social development, and environmental sustainability. In terms of innovation, we believe that innovation and e-government can play a fundamental role in meeting the social, economic, and environmental challenges of our societies by providing opportunities to transform public administration into an instrument of sustainable development at the service of its citizens. And we will have the opportunity to explore more in detail, in depth, during these 2 days, how e-government and innovation can play this important role and what can be done in terms of framework strategies and innovative practices. You will have the opportunity to share your knowledge and to gain knowledge from others. So if we move on quickly to the objectives of this workshop, we will present and discuss key issues of innovation and e-governance for sustainable development, discuss policies, strategies, and good practices. We are very fortunate to have the UNPSA winners among us, but there are many winners among all of us. It's just that maybe some of you did not submit your nominations, so I would also take this opportunity to remind you that every year we have the United Nations Public Service Awards, call for nominations, and if you have not nominated, if you have not been nominated or you wish to nominate a good innovative practice, please do so. As Mr. Lim also said, we will promote knowledge sharing and peer-to-peer transfer within this workshop, but also beyond the workshop. In other words, we would like this workshop to be starting point of connecting governments to share their innovative solutions, innovative practices. So though the workshop is very important, what will happen after the workshop through your own interactions is even more important. And finally, we will generate key recommendations and action-oriented proposals on how to promote innovation and e-government. Next, please. So the workshop is going to be composed of 4 sessions. The first session is going to be about the global trends and emerging issues of e-government. The second session will be about collaborative leadership for whole-of-government approaches, and we will have the UNPSA winners that will present their insights, lessons learned on whole-of-government, particularly focusing on the key ingredients needed for leadership, collaborative leadership. Session 3 will focus on policies and strategies of innovative online service delivery, and again, we are very fortunate to have the UNPSA winners among us and others. And the 4th session is going to be focused on the small island developing states, which is very important, and e-government can play a fundamental role, as Mr. Lim wisely stated. And we will also hold the 3rd International Conference on SIDS. United Nations is organizing it in Samoa in September. So it will be an opportunity to brainstorm and then present recommendations during that very important platform, and we are very glad to see a representative from Samoa here. So if you have any questions about the SIDS conference, you may also ask him. Next, please. In terms of process and participatory methodology, well, We believe that we should talk very little and you should talk more than we do. So we're trying to adopt this participatory approach. We believe participation is important at all levels, not only for governments, but also in these kinds of platforms to exchange knowledge. So what we will do is we will have different means of enhancing participation. We know that this room with all of these people, there are so many ideas that we really want you to engage with one another, to talk about your challenges, opportunities, and strategies. And we hope that this could be done through sessions of questions and answers to the presenters. We will have group exercises, table discussions, and of course knowledge sharing during the networking breaks, or so-called coffee breaks. And we believe that active participation throughout the workshop is really key to success. So if you like this workshop and you're here today, we would ask you to stay throughout the 2 days, because all of the exercises and the discussions are going to be logically linked to one another. And if you do not like the workshop or the theme, then of course you may join other workshops, but we really hope that you will be engaged, because there are many different ways in which you will be able to share your knowledge. Next. Now, role of resource persons. I just wanted to explain a little bit how this is going to work, because clarity is important. So we will have session chairpersons. The session chairperson will introduce the speakers one by one. The speakers will have 10 minutes each, and after 8 minutes, there will be a signal, gentle signal, Korean gong, I understand, to let you know that your time is almost up. And we believe that 10 minutes is a very good time. In fact, I'm trying to rush because I need to give a good example. I can't go over my 10 minutes. So that's what we ask the speakers. Why do we ask that? Well, we ask that so that everybody else then can also. We would like to have all of you as speakers, but we can't. So the only way that we can have you share your knowledge is at the table discussions. We will have an overall facilitator, Mr. Robertson Work, who is here with us and has been facilitating workshops. He's an expert, and so we are very pleased to have him here today. Then we will have table discussion rapporteurs and chairs. So each table will select their own rapporteur for each session, and also the chair. And the rapporteur of the table discussions will provide their notes at the end of the session to the session rapporteurs. So each session will have a session rapporteur to capture not only table discussions, but also what will be said during the plenary. Finally, we have a general rapporteur, and I'm happy to introduce our general rapporteur, Mr. Limon Rodriguez, who has been, he's a senior economist, and he has been working with us also for many years. So he knows what it takes to put together the recommendations in an effective, efficient way, because the end result is that we need to come up with some recommendations, some concrete recommendations, both to member states and also to the United Nations, which will be presented in the plenary session on the last day of this event, and then will be incorporated in the final report. So we hope that what we are going to be discussing during these days will not just be limited to this room, but we can share our insights and knowledge with the world at large if we come up with a set of good recommendations and insights and lessons learned. Finally, the UN Secretariat, that is e-government branch of DPADM, myself and Mr. Rabinovich are here to help you and facilitate the workshop, as well as Mr. Lim and his team from UNPOC. Next, please. So our last point is, what are the expected outcomes of workshop? I always think that if we have in mind the end result, if we have a vision of where we want to go, the journey will be more purposeful. So, of course, these expected outcomes may be a little ambitious, but I'll just illustrate them to you, and then we will see as a group if we can come up with recommendations and suggestions to be presented during the ministerial roundtable on the last day. Of course, as I said, enhanced knowledge, so we really truly believe in participation and you sharing your knowledge on e-government policies, strategies, trends, best practices, and tools in the era of e-government. Transfer of knowledge by connecting those who have innovated with those who wish to innovate in a specific area. And we can also facilitate, after the workshop, peer-to-peer transfers upon request. Promote a global exchange platform in the area of innovation and e-government for sustainable development for SIDS. As you know, one of the problems of SIDS is that they are very much scattered, but there is great knowledge within the various SIDS and islands, and therefore by connecting them through a platform, online discussion, we believe that this could be very important in terms of facilitating e-government for sustainable development. And finally, we would like to hear from you if you have any ideas, needs about concrete training modules, guidelines that you would like us to develop, or we could develop in partnership with you. So again, please, we are open to listen to you, to hear what your needs are, what your suggestions are, and I really hope that this workshop will be insightful and inspirational, but above all, that you will enjoy these 2 days and meet many outstanding people. And I thank you very much.
Thank you.